Hey guys, it's CJ, and welcome to today's Monday Money Moment. I'm so excited to talk about this particular topic today because I love talking about decreasing expenses and increasing income. So today we're going to deal with how I keep my expenses as low as they can possibly be. As you can see on the screen, I'm going to talk about planning ahead, a concept I call dollar for dollar, reviewing services, understanding the perks of existing services or things that you probably already pay for. And we're going to round out our 5 ways I keep my expenses low with utilizing discount sites. And we do have a bonus or a lagniappe item for today. So everyone knows with the Monday Money Moments, the concept is to be as brief as possible. So I only pulled out 1 or 2 concepts to discuss for each of the 5 items. I cannot tell you just how much planning ahead can save you tons of money. And I know it's kind of difficult to kind of wrap your head around a concept or around a ton of money, but you can do it in every aspect of your life. I know there are certain days that gas is cheaper. We know that there are certain stores that offer discounts on certain days. If you're in the military, you can come in on Tuesdays and get a 10 or 15% discount. If you start Christmas shopping earlier, you may reap certain benefits from that. So just generally being prepared for expenses, it's almost like a no-brainer for how you can save on expenses as well. So the concept I'm going to talk about today is preparing for holiday spending because, that's kind of top of everybody's mind right now as we go into the Thanksgiving holiday. But simply preparing out a list of, who you're going to shop for, making a list for what foods you're going to prepare to make sure maybe you're going to shop around, or maybe you just want to go to one store, you want to utilize certain coupons and things like that. But literally just sitting down and preparing yourself will save you in the long run. Now, this concept, this is not a new theory. It's not a new thing at all, but just planning your trips. I remember, when I was growing up and as a teenager, I probably would leave the house 4 or 5 times to run to the store. And then I go to the mall and then I go pick up my friend. And my mom would literally say, you're burning a lot of gas. Make one trip, leave the house, go get your friend, go to the store, go to the mall, do everything you need to do in one trip. And now I truly do that. If something is not in my route for that particular day, I don't go, especially if it's not a must. And we're talking about being prepared for things. So whatever particular thing I want to go and do at random, it's really not that important, to be honest. So it can wait. Dollar for dollar is a concept that I actually was doing, but I really didn't realize just how effectively that I was doing it until recently. So there's this concept of, if you think about keeping your overall expenses at a minimum, but also around a certain level, right? So as we grow in age and we begin to increase our income, what normally increases? Expenses. You normally want a bigger car, bigger house, bigger yard, means more, lawn expenses, flowers, etc., whatever, your thing is. But for me, I try to often find ways to offset those expenses. So recently, I had satellite radio, I had, my cell phone plan, and I also had something else. I don't know if it was Apple iTunes storage or something like that. And so just in looking at that, I was like, okay, I think I want to get rid of my satellite radio. But I like music, right? And so in doing that, I found out that I could increase my cell phone plan by $10, and now I could get Apple Music for free for, the life of the plan. But the increase would be $10. So I'm already saved on the satellite radio, right? Well, then I've also found out that if you can have your cell phone bill automatically deducted from a bank account, then you can also save $10. So I'm already saving on the satellite radio. I found a way to offset the increase in plan. So thirdly, in looking at this new plan, I figured out that it comes with a certain amount of cloud storage. That's where you store photos, videos, contacts, etc. So I was able to then cancel my additional Apple storage. So I think I use the free storage. It's like 5 megabytes or gigabytes or something like that. And so just in doing all of that, I ended up coming out a lot more in the plus than I was in the negative, and I got everything I wanted plus a couple of other perks. So I definitely encourage you to, before you increase an expense, definitely take a look at the holistic picture and make sure that there isn't another item that you can cut or trim somewhere else. This next particular item in reviewing services, it actually goes hand in hand with the concept that I just introduced on the last topic. You never know what sort of perks or incentives that you have with bank accounts, credit cards, cell phone packages. I remember at one point Verizon actually offered free roadside assistance for like a long time. And so that was something that I didn't carry on my auto insurance, or I did it in reverse, or I would ask them for a discount. I say, hey, I'm not using this particular item. Could you discount my bill or something like that? So a lot of times you're already receiving services and they're already being paid for under one particular bill, but you're adding it somewhere else and paying for it, right? And so you definitely want to make sure that that you're reviewing those items, because I know for me, I tend to buy newer cars, right? And so typically I'm going to have a warranty on tires or whatever the case may be. So when I go to get my tires rotated and that salesperson tries to sell me a tire rotation package, I'm going to say, no, I already have that service, opposed to just, oh, yeah, I guess I do need a tire package. No, technically I already have that and I'm already paying for it somewhere else. So we've gone over 3 concepts already, and I know this is feeling like it's a lot to do, but one of the things that I do is I do everything on a cycle. So I'm not calling and reviewing services once a month or once a week. Maybe I review my cell service once a year to make sure I'm getting the best value. Maybe I review my cable bill in December because I want to watch Hallmark movies or whatever the case may be. But just going back to that first concept of preparing, you can map out your year the same way you map out your calendar, your vacation, holidays, celebrations, and other notable dates. You can also key in a time to review certain things that you're paying for and your expenses. Using existing perks. Have you ever been sold a package? We're going to take Amazon, for example, because I think most people in America probably have Amazon Prime at this point. Did you know Amazon Prime offers cloud storage, photo storage? They have streaming software. You can get groceries delivered. They probably have other perks in there. I know individuals that receive EBT cards, they can upload an image of their card. They can get a discount on Amazon Prime. So it's all these different perks that are baked into services. But a lot of times people only use a handful of them, right? But that's how the service providers justify the cost. Well, they're saying, hey, technically you're paying one price, but you're getting 12 or 15 different services and items. So this is something that I do. I don't do it all the time, but I definitely do it often. I mentioned earlier that technically at one point I was paying for 3 places to store stuff, right? I had the Amazon Prime that had a photo storage, I had the iTunes storage, and I had storage with Verizon Wireless. I'll never be able to take that many pictures to be able to store the amount of data that I had at any one time, right? So definitely I encourage you guys to review. Like I said, put it on the calendar and definitely review what you're paying for, whether it's a quarterly or every other month basis. I know I've been saying that most of these are my favorites, but literally most of these are my favorites. But this is one that I've used for quite some time. It's discount sites. So discount sites are basically pass-through websites that offer you a percentage of cash back on items that you purchase from that particular store. So they have several sites that are doing it. I think the largest one may be Rakuten. It used to be Ebates back in the day, but they recently went through a name change. So I'm going to go to Rakuten first just to see what the discount that's being offered, because a lot of times you can stack things, right? And like I said earlier, we're kind of talking about gift giving in the holiday season. But for example, we'll take a big box store that we all know. They may offer a discount for you using the same day service, okay? Which is when you pull up to the store, they bring your groceries out to you, or you may go to the service counter and get your items. I may go through Rakuten, and get the discount for doing that. Then I'm going to get a $10 future gift card just for using the drive up service. Then my credit card may stack on a perk. So all of these things are going to eventually drive down the cost of whatever it is that you're paying for. And while it may seem like pennies on the dollar, those pennies add up over time. We have made it to our lanyard portion of the day. Credit card perks. As you know, this is my disclaimer. If you are in a certain amount of credit card debt, or if maybe you're only paying the minimum required payment on your credit cards, ignore this section altogether, because that means you may need a little bit more discipline around spending before you try to utilize a few of the concepts that I'm going to introduce here. So one of the ways people utilize credit cards is with cashback options. So if a person has a job where they get cash back for gas purchases, they may put all their gas on that particular credit card, pay that credit card off at the end of the month. Bada bing, bada boom, they're getting cash back. They're probably not paying any interest. They're showing good activity on their credit report. All of the good things, okay? I just realized that I misspoke earlier. If you have a job where you are required to travel a lot, a person may utilize their credit card for gas purchases opposed to, swiping their personal debit card for those purchases. So I did want to make that distinction. Example that I just gave is just one example. A lot of cards now are giving you the option to choose where you want your cash back to be used. So if you know you're a heavy Walmart shopper, if you're a heavy online shopper, if you know you may spend a lot on restaurants and dining out or gas, like I mentioned earlier, your credit card may give you the option to choose what you want the highest percentage of cash back to go towards. And I know several people who have figured out how to maybe pay all of their bills using their credit card to really rake in the cash back, and then they'll pay, the monthly bill. Like I said, I just encourage people to not get caught up in trying to do that, because those are definitely sophisticated spenders. One example I like to give about how to maybe hack the credit card system in terms of trying to get discounts and cash back, you can go into, say, Rakuten's website, get the cash back, say for Target, right? They may also offer 20% off of their gift cards at the time. Your credit card may also offer cash back whenever you shop at a big box store. So that's 3 discounts that you've received in one purchase. And because you're going to shop there, you're going to use a gift card, you're good to go, right? Credit cards are a useful tool. I tend to teach a more like a modest living lifestyle, kind of managing your income and expenses to a point. Some may call it being frugal. Others may say, that I allot personally for too much out food or too much other fringe items in my budget, because I do have Amazon Prime and Apple TV and certain things like that. But I definitely want to encourage all of you to essentially live within your means, save as much as you possibly can, and try to trim expenses where you see they can be trimmed, and also increase income where you can increase income as well.